Dante's Seventh Circle of Hell is a striking, multifaceted exploration of violence in all its forms, divided into 3 rings, each with its own specific punishment. The souls here are not merely suffering from individual wrongdoings, they are engulfed in the consequences of a profound failure to respect life, whether it is the life of others, one's own life, or the life of nature and God. Dante's vision of this circle paints a chilling portrait of human destructiveness, offering insights not only into medieval theology but also into the timeless nature of violence. The Seventh Circle reflects a world deeply concerned with the consequences of violence. Dante wrote the Divine Comedy in the early 14th century, during a time of great political instability. Florence, his home city, was riddled with factional violence, with warring political parties constantly at odds. In addition, Europe had seen centuries of warfare, from the Crusades to local conflicts, and the Church wielded significant influence over moral judgments about war and justice. Dante, as a victim of political exile himself, was acutely aware of the human toll of violence, which resonates deeply in his depiction of this circle. The Seventh Circle is divided into 3 rings, each corresponding to a different type of violence: violence against others, violence against oneself, and violence against God and nature. The punishments here are both poetic and terrifying. In the outermost ring, those who committed violence against others, murderers, warlords, and tyrants, are submerged in a river of boiling blood, eternally tormented by centaurs who fire arrows at any attempt to escape. This brutal imagery emphasizes how those who shed blood in life are now submerged in it forever. Dante's inclusion of warlords and tyrants is significant, as the Middle Ages saw rampant warfare and oppressive rulers whose greed and desire for power brought widespread suffering. The second ring houses those who committed violence against themselves, the suicides. In a deeply evocative twist, these souls are transformed into gnarled trees, their human forms lost as they are forever denied the dignity of physical restoration. The harpies, grotesque bird-like creatures, tear at their branches, causing them to bleed and cry out. Dante's vision of suicide reflects the medieval belief that it was a sin against the body and soul. While modern sensibilities understand suicide as a result of mental health struggles, Dante's allegory reveals the era's rigid views on life and death. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 800,000 people die by suicide each year, showing how relevant this exploration of despair remains. In the innermost ring, those who committed violence against God and nature, blasphemers, bullies, and usurers, are punished in a desolate desert, subjected to a perpetual rain of fire. Their punishment signifies the unnaturalness of their actions, burning the ground as they scorched the moral order. This imagery is a reflection of Dante's view of divine justice, where offending the Creator and the natural world itself warranted the harshest of punishments. Dante's Seventh Circle invites reflection on the cyclical nature of violence. Those who acted with violence in life are now caught in a never-ending cycle of suffering. The boiling river of blood, the bleeding trees, and the burning desert all symbolize how violence begets violence, echoing the ancient philosophical warning of the Stoics that unchecked passions, like anger and greed, destroy both the self and the world. Modern data supports the enduring relevance of this idea. A 2019 report from the Global Peace Index found that the economic cost of violence worldwide amounts to $14.5 trillion annually. Whether it's through war, homicide, or self-inflicted harm, violence continues to shape societies in profound ways. The consequences ripple outward, much like the relentless suffering in Dante's Seventh Circle. Violence takes many forms, some of which we witness every day, while others are more insidious. A friend of mine, a trauma surgeon, once recounted how the aftermath of violence stays with victims long after the physical wounds have healed. In Dante's hell, the souls in the Seventh Circle are bound to their violent pasts in a literal, eternal torment. In life, survivors of violence often live with emotional scars that, while invisible, are no less painful. Dante's Seventh Circle of Hell is a harrowing exploration of violence, not only as an act but as a philosophical and moral failure. Through his vivid depictions of murderers, suicides, and blasphemers, Dante warns against the consequences of violating the sanctity of life, whether through action, despair, or defiance of the natural and divine order. In today's world, where violence continues to shape our societies, his cautionary tale remains as powerful and poignant as ever, urging us to recognize the far-reaching consequences of our actions.